referred to as home is regarded as the safety place, as the safe haven. Some people are turning their homes into unsafe places for human habitation. So if home is unsafe, where then do I go? Ordinarily, I would expect the lockdown to help families come together and bond more, share challenges and address issues of concern in unison, but surprisingly, it is not the case in some families. We are getting reports as the Ministry of Gender and our partners that due to the current social environment of lockdown, cases of violence against women and children are increasing. We talk about women and children because they are the most vulnerable. This is not to downplay some cases against males or men, but we talk about women and children deliberately so, and we are emphatic about it because they are most prevalent and they stand out, they are widespread. I note with great concern the increasing cases of gender-based violence in families throughout the country. Some of these cases have already claimed lives of Ugandans, even before COVID-19 does so. Within a period of less than 1 month, between 30th March and 28th April 2020, a total of 3,280 cases of GBV were reported to the police. 3,280. Those are the reported. Then what about those that go unreported, and which moreover are the majority? This in addition, 283 cases of violence against children which were reported through our National Child Helpline Sauti toll code 1116. People calling us and telling us child so and so is being molested, child is being battered. We have this helpline in Kireka. These acts of violence degrade the dignity of humanity and are therefore unacceptable. The perpetrators of this vice must be dealt with decisively and in a timely manner in accordance with the law. I am therefore resounding a clarion call to all community, religious and political leaders, law enforcement agencies like the police, the RDCs, the government prosecutors to act tough against gender-based violence perpetrators. As human beings, let us collectively review the fight against violence against women, children, and GBV in general. While we celebrating Women's Day in Mbale on the 8th of March 2020, I made a passionate appeal to all frontline law enforcement teams and prosecutors not to regard cases of GBV as mere domestic issues to be resolved in family meetings. This is one of the constraints we have, why GBV cases are not being reported, why they are not being prosecuted to the logical conclusion. Police, prosecutors, telling women mainly, banakuwasiza ku polisi, ensonga z'amako nazileta ku polisi. This is nonsense, and it's the reason why the cases are escalating. The idea of turning away women assaulted or battered by their spouses at police stations, advising them to go and settle their grievances at home, is illegal and unacceptable. There is nothing domestic, there is nothing cultural, there is nothing family to settle at home when it comes to inflicting harm on one's body. The family does not feel the pain, the clan does not feel the pain. There is nothing cultural that one person will suffer on behalf of the clan. It is illegal, it's unacceptable. Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and its partners, under the Global Spotlight Initiative, for which Uganda was selected globally by the UN, we are relaunching a renewed fight against gender-based violence. Under this initiative, we are strengthening capacity of 7 pilot districts of Arua in West Nile, Amdat in Karamoja, Kampala in the central, Kasesa and Kigegwa in western, Kitgum in the north, and Tororo in the east, in prevention and response to GBV. The specific activities in these districts include, these pilot districts, training on prevention and response to GBV for the technical, political, cultural leadership, and civil society organizations, including the media. We are coordinating 13 gender-based violence shelters in the districts of Gulu, Lira, Masaka, Mbarara, Kumi, Katakwi, Amuru, Palisa, Nebi, Mubende, Kwen, Morota, and Kampala. The shelters provide psychosocial support, legal aid, temporary shelter and first aid for GBV survivors because they are taken for medical care. The ministry also established a national gender-based violence database center for purposes of collecting and generating GBV data to inform decision-making and interventions. Under this spotlight initiative, the ministry and its partners also are facilitating stakeholder engagements for planning intervention on GBV and scaling up sensitization and dissemination of key messages to the local communities through the media. All community leaders must stand up against this vice. When the COVID-19 situation settles, Ministry of Gender will conduct a national conference for all the community development officers, CDOs based at sub-county level, which were planned prior but had to postpone because of the COVID situation. And this conference will be to resound the alarm at community level and reawaken the CDOs, who are always the first point victims of violence, the victims of violence run to. The CDOs and other community leaders, as well as many other volunteer activists against GBV, will be trained on how to track GBV cases to the final stage of ensuring that victims get justice. It will no longer be a case of the woman to report or the child, but of the institution and government. We want to see all cases reported to police by GBV victims progressing to court for prosecution. If 3,280 cases were reported to police, the question is, how many of these progressed to court? And if they didn't, why? It means someone somewhere in the cycle compromised the evidence, discouraged or threatened the complainants. It became a family matter. It became a domestic issue. It became a point of salvaging the marriage. You can't salvage the marriage when my life is at risk. We shall also partner with the media and train reporters who pick interest in fighting GBV to investigate and track cases of gender-based violence so as to amplify the messages. I wish to thank our partners, namely the UN family, agencies and many other civil society partners for the support towards this fight against GBV. As we fight COVID, let's fight GBV as a serious emerging issue. I want to caution once again all the frontline workers, including the RDCs, the police, the DSOs, the GISOs, the district community development officers, the probation and social welfare officers and LCs, who are supposed to ensure the safety of all Ugandans in their respective jurisdictions, that as government we shall not entertain the laissez-faire attitude with which some of them handle cases of sexual and gender-based violence and violence against children and women as normal occurrences. Anyone found condoning these acts will be sanctioned. You must ensure that such cases are handled expeditiously to guarantee justice to the victims, and you should stop normalizing domestic violence. I want to repeat that. I also want to urge medical workers who attend to the survivors or victims of gender-based violence and violence against children to be professional and ensure thorough medical examinations as well as records of the results of the victims, because those will act as a basis for investigation and for legal action in court. So if the examination does not bring out the plight of the victim or the magnitude of the damage of the assault, then that's the stage at which justice is aborted. The general public is asked to stay on alert. The way as they are alert on COVID should be the same as alert on GBV, and report any case of gender-based violence and violence against children promptly to police, LCs, or the Uganda Child Toll-Free Helpline Sauti 11-6. Because if home is unstable, then people will run out to the trading centers. They will run out and roam, hence playing counter to the measures of lockdown. Finally, I would like to commend the media fraternity for being one of the most reliable partners of government in promoting the rights and well-being of the vulnerable people in the country. We further thank you for your resilience in the growing fight against COVID. Thank you so much. Stay home and stay safe. Sorry for a long address.